have to understand that I'm Geraldo. I'm not anyone to trifle with.
Greetings and salutations. Here we are again, Colin and Greg live here on twitch.tv/KindaFunnyGames. You're there right now. My name's Colin Moriarty. This is Greg Miller.
Hey.
This is our every weekday kind of talk show. We do it for about an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half, depending. Maybe longer, maybe less.
Maybe 4 hours.
Maybe
one day.
4 hours
maybe,
during
Maybe
E3.
it'll never stop.
It'll never stop. I can guarantee you it'll never, ever stop.
As long as we're living.
Yeah, as long
we'll
as
be living.
Yeah, as long as we're living, we're living. Thank you for joining us. Of course, this is our show about all things nerd culture, games, movies, TV, comics, entertainment, all those kinds of things. Greg, today our stuff is going to be largely focused around Nintendo because
we're Nintendo fanboys.
We're Nintendo fanboys, and Nintendo threw a huge heaping helping
of news
at us. They
said, Colin and Greg, we support you in this Colin and Greg Live. We understand every day at 11 a.m. you come out and you talk about nerdy news. We're going to give you so much to talk about that you throw Shuhei out the window.
Yeah, you're going to throw him out. Never to be seen again.
Sorry, Shu, you got nothing to say to us.
I'm only kidding. We love him.
It's the year of Luigi again, everybody. It's back.
I'm not even sure where to begin, but first, Greg, did you kiss me?
I did.
Oh, I appreciate that.
No problem. I love you a lot.
So very first thing, Greg, is that I want to thank everyone out there for continuing to support us. Our support, we're so staggered by all of you guys kind of being with us every day or when you can. The idea of the show, of course, is to kind of tune in when you can. If not, the archive right here on twitch.tv/KindaFunnyGames will have old episodes for I think a few weeks, and I think we're going to sign up, or maybe we already have signed up, so that will be that archive will kind of be elongated.
You want to go pro?
Yeah, I think we should.
We can do that right now. That's 60 days then of everything being up there.
Yeah, so everything should be up but for now everything will be up for as long as we I think it's 2 weeks, 3
it's
weeks,
14
something like
days.
that. So you can always go back and watch old episodes. We're hearing your feedback at Kinda Funny Vids on Twitter, No Taxation Game Over Greg on Twitter. Let us know what you think of the show.
Captain Crota just to subscribe. Hello.
We appreciate that. Thank you very much. But thank you for supporting us. Pertinent news, salient news right now, Greg, before we get into the Nintendo information.
Yeah.
Conversation with Colin is back for a final season at youtube.com/kindafunny. Today, just a few hours ago, we published the newest Conversation with Colin, which was about Nintendo, which was unintentional, but quite timely.
Yeah, really
quite timely. So thank you for joining us, Greg. Let's jump right into it. I don't even know where to begin because there's so much. So I'm just going to click on random windows here and see what we come up with
You
first.
start with the biggest one. What are you talking about?
New Nintendo 3DS XL finally revealed for the US. Is that the one you're talking about?
This one rolls into the one. I'm thinking about the MM one, but we'll be fine. Let's start here. We'll start here. We'll start here. Unpacking it.
Well, this comes from our friend Jose over at IGN.
Jose, what up?
Their IGN's coverage of this has been awesome, by the way. You should go check it out. Jose says this: Nintendo announced today that the new Nintendo 3DS XL, an update to its popular 3DS series, releases in North America on February 13th with a suggested retail price of $199.99. The system. That reminds me of Ron Popeil, by the way, the 99 cent kind of weighted. Everyone knows Ron Popeil out there.
Of course they do, yeah. Why do we hold on to the 99-cent business?
I don't know. It tricks. I mean, I guess it just tricks. It tricks consumers.
It does, but why? Why are consumers so stupid that they can't see that it's just a cent off? It's $200. Just say it's $200.
Yeah, it's $200. Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
But I think it's a mental thing that I'm sure people much smarter than us realize.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're starting the death of the 99-cent movement right here. You're part of it. Get out there and tell the world.
Jose's story goes on to say the upgraded 3DS has faster processor that loads games quicker, improved battery life, better Wi-Fi capabilities, and an added head tracking feature that enhances the viewing angle of its glasses-free 3D.
Because you love the 3D.
Yeah, does anyone even use the 3D?
Let us know in the chat. Do you use the 3D on your Nintendo 3DS?
The system comes with a 4GB micro SD card pre-installed, which is very cool. That's
where the pretty cool news stops on this thing.
Yeah, now here's the interesting thing. As far as I understand, and I don't know if I'm seeing it in this news, but I don't believe that this 3DS comes with a power brick?
It does not come with a power adapter, which is maddening for me. And now I tweeted about this. I said the show is going to be about this. Everybody's saying, God, no, no, no. I use it on some games. Yes, some people love the 3D. Most of you hate it, which is good. You're normal. Here's the problem with the power adapter business.
Talk at me, please.
You know, Colin, that since they announced the new 3DS over in Japan, and they said it's got the stick, it's got this, I'm like, it's my time. Greg Miller's gonna finally upgrade. I've been using the my original 3DS, the little red one, forever. I can't play Smash on it. It's too small. It hurts my eyes. I played 86 hours of Mario Golf on that little tiny red thing. I'm ready to go big. I understand that by buying the new one, I had an old one. So clearly I have a power adapter. I understand that the majority of people buying the system are upgrading, that they already have a 3DS.
The majority?
I think the majority. Do you agree?
I just think Majora's Mask, the majority was.
That's why I love you so much.
Man, you kissed me a lot today. I like it.
I'm in
Keep
one
kissing-
of them
keep kissing me.
moods. They're gonna go lower as the show goes on. There's still is gonna be a giant group of people who aren't buying to upgrade, that are buying this for the first time, that are going to GameStop, trading in their original 3DS, getting this new one, and thinking they're like, how many? It reminds me a lot of what happened on Christmas with the PS4 and the Xbox One. When the networks were down, people unpacked these gifts, they were super excited, they put it in, couldn't use it. That's what's gonna happen here. You're gonna open it up, you're gonna have an initial charge, it's gonna die off, and then you're gonna go to Amazon. You're gonna have to get back in the car, back to the mall, buy these things. And not to mention, if you go to the mall, like most people and kids will, they're gonna have a run on these things. They're gonna be gone. It sucks.
Yeah, it is weird. It's a very weird. It's just weird.
Yeah.
You know, like we were talking about it on the Gamescast, which we recorded earlier this morning, which goes live for our Patreon supporters on Friday and everyone else on Monday.
Yeah.
That the cost of manufacture of the brick can't be that much money for Nintendo. It's got to be pennies, like or a dollar. Like, you know, you mass produce these things in terms of raw material and labor. You throw it in the box, and it really doesn't make a difference. You know, regardless of the crossover, it doesn't make any sense. It's just stupid to not include power with the. It doesn't make any sense. It's
such a weird move. It's gonna be so confusing for people. I think it's just annoying.
Agreed.
Pretty much.
Agreed.
That's the problem.
The other thing you want to talk about was Majora's Mask now.
Yeah.
Majora's
Yes,
Mask
brother.
is now, people out there may or may not know, Majora's Mask is by far my favorite Zelda game.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited that it's kind of, there's kind of a reinvigorating of the love for it after some people were down on it back in the N64 era. Just like a lot of people were down on the GameCube Wind Waker, which I loved at the time too. And everyone pretends like they didn't hate it back then when they obviously did. Now, Majora's Mask 3DS has been, GameStop was selling a 3DS, and over at Kotaku there's an interesting story by Jason Schreier that these 3DSs that were allocated for GameStop in a limited number, the new 3DS XL, they're already sold out.
While we recorded the Gamescast where I said I was going to buy when they sold out?
Yeah, and apparently they're already on, people are already selling them on eBay. Like the
Amazon doesn't do it anymore, right?
The pre-orders, I have no idea. It's $200 at the same time, but the good news for people that didn't play Majora's Mask the first time on N64, didn't play it on Virtual Console, or just want to experience it again like we do, that will be coming out the same day in North America and presumably in Europe on the 3DS XL, or with the 3DS XL you can buy it. You can play it on your original 3DS as well.
Sure.
Now you were saying something interesting that I didn't during the Gamescast that I didn't know. I guess because I kind of been reading. You know, there's a lot of information.
There's a lot to unpack today.
Kind of been browsing.
You're only one man. How can you unpack it all?
Now, is that in Europe, in European territories, the 3DS XL will come out preloaded
This
with
is what
Majora's
I was reading
Mask?
on the IGN.coms over there. They had their article up again. They have Jose's been busting his buns. Luke's over there doing the news. What I caught this morning is that the 3DS console and bundle in the United States, or just the console, I guess, in the United States, won't have the game. It's just the Majora's Mask looking system. Meanwhile, in Europe, yeah, it's preloaded. It's right there.
It's so annoying. It's cool that we're getting the game. It's just annoying that like we can't get. It's a very weird kind of thing.
It's super weird.
It's super weird. Especially since Europe is not well known as being a firm Nintendo territory, and the United States is very well known for being a strong Nintendo territory. So I think we would get some of that good stuff. There's other news to go through, Greg. We'll kind of hit it real quick.
Are you upset that? I mean, it's just weird, right? That the bundle. I mean, I don't care that much. You weren't going to buy the bundle to begin with.
No, I'm going to buy.
Apparently, the damn thing sold out anyway. So
I'll buy Majora's Mask gladly. But I'm not going to buy the new 3DS.
Okay.
No, I play it once, twice, 3 times a year for like a few. I'm not going to buy.
But see, that's what I'm going into this purchase with that expectation as always. Just like when I bought the Wii U, I knew I was going to play a lot of Kart and a lot of Smash on it and not much else on it. Granted, now since we started streaming, we started Game of the Month Club, we're doing Super Metroid, which I still need to make posts about. I'm using it more. But I still understand that console is not going to be my PS4, that gets turned on all the time. Similar to how I understand this new 3DS I'm buying, I'd like to play Smash. I can't play it now because my eyes are too bad to play it on the postage stamp screen of my original 3DS, right? Like I have realistic expectations. I'm just ready to make the leap. I'm ready to make the jump.
I understand that. I respect it. Yeah, it's just not for me. But I'm excited to play Majora's Mask again. It's a really fantastic game. I encourage people on Gamescast, but you're hearing this first before you hear the Gamescast, whether you're a Patreon supporter or not. So act surprised. Please do play it and enjoy it, because I really think that it's a special game that a lot of people ignored, and I really think it's an underrated Zelda game, as it were.
Yeah, I wish more people had played it. I love it. It was a great one. Like I always talk about, that's the continuation I wanted. I wish that Zelda was still making sequels to that universe. That it was still Ocarina, Majora's Mask, and then whatever. You know, I thought that was a really good storyline, a really good character, really good, just keep going with it, rather than feel like you have to reboot it every time. You mentioned Gamecast a couple times there. I want to point out that, yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Kinda Funny Gamescast is finally up on iTunes, and it'll be updated now each and every Friday with the episode that I've been posting on YouTube and do all that stuff. Well, I'm going to put the link here in the chat. If you could go to iTunes, subscribe, rate us, do all that, it helps us out a lot. Thank you very much. Colin, continue.
Now let's just jump into some more news here. I think that the next piece of pertinent information is that a new Fire Emblem has been announced for 3DS. Now, people really enjoy Fire Emblem. The Fire Emblem series goes way back to Famicom and has been gracing Nintendo systems, Nintendo hardware ever since.
Yeah.
And I really think the Fire Emblem series, which for people out there who don't know is a strategy RPG series, is going to is kind of hitting its stride in the West, and a lot of people are really enjoying it. The new Fire Emblem, we don't really have any other information on it other than it's a 3DS game. It will work on 3DS, 3DS XL, all the kind of iterations. You don't have to worry about that, and your 2DS as well. Remember, let's not forget the 2DS. Of
course not.
So if you're excited about a new Fire Emblem and you played, what was the last one, Awakening, then you'll be excited to know that this is kind of forthcoming. I assume...
they didn't give a release date.
No, I don't...
No title even. It's just that there's a new Fire Emblem coming.
Right,
That's all they
exactly.
said.
Exactly. And so I'm most curious to see, what happens with that game, the characters and stuff. The trailer looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Presumably Intelligent Systems is making the game, as they've made pretty much all the games in the series. So keep an eye out for that one. Puzzle and Dragons double pack coming to 3DS. This is a really big deal. Puzzle and Dragons is huge in Japan, just absolutely huge.
What is it? I mean, I don't know if I'm familiar with it.
It's a puzzle game, I think, kind of like a match game that
Oh.
is on 3DS. I don't know much more about it. It's often on the Media Create lists that are released every Wednesday for Japanese top game sales. Last week Brian Albert wrote the story on IGN.
Big Brian Albert?
Last week, Puzzle and Dragons Super Mario Bros. Edition was announced for a Japanese release on April 29th. This double pack will get you Puzzle and Dragons Z and Puzzle and Dragons Super Mario Bros. Edition. Let's see, I don't know if there's a release date. This May in the West.
Okay.
So another 3DS game for you guys to kind of get down and dirty with.
Get down and dirty with. I played that. You know what game needs to come back? Puzzle Quest. We need a new Puzzle Quest stat. Remember how big Puzzle Quest was?
Oh yeah, man.
Time for a new one.
I agree.
I think that what was the one they did that it was a shoot. I walked right into this one. They did a sequel to Puzzle Quest, kind of, right? Remember it was like a spiritual successor in space. I thought. You remember what I'm talking about here?
No.
Chat, let me know what I'm talking about. You know, the one that came after Puzzle Quest that wasn't Puzzle Quest, and I thought it was in space.
Next piece of news from the Nintendo Direct, on February 5th, Majora's Mask DLC will be coming to Hyrule Warriors. So if you played that particular game from Omega Force on Wii U, you'll enjoy that. The Majora's Mask DLC has Young Link, which is really nice. I think he has actually his deity mask, his fierce deity mask, and you can
Galaxy Quest.
And you can and you play as Tingle, of course, which is everyone's favorite Zelda character. So
Giant Bomb just said a new Puzzle Quest is needed too. That's why we love Giant Bomb. Rock on, Jeff Gerstmann.
Oh God, there's just so.
Puzzle Quest Galactrix. That's what it was.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Cool.
There it was.
By the way, I want to kind of take a moment to reflect on Nintendo Direct generally, kind of the idea.
Are we looking off over here? Reflect.
You can look wherever you want, Greg. I'm not going to tell you what to do.
I'm reflecting.
Nintendo Direct's a really nice idea. And
my God, what a great idea.
And I like that Nintendo does that. I think that they sync up with their, I think Sony does a really nice job of syncing up with their fans, and I think that Microsoft's getting better, and I think they realize that that's important. But Nintendo's been doing it longest, and I think they really understand that to speak to their core audience, that this is the best way to do it regularly, do it every 2-3 months, however often they want to do it. And give them what they want, and they make some big announcements, and they kind of remind you of what's coming, and they have some things to show you, and I think that that's really cool, and they kind of cut the middleman. They don't have to wait for E3.
Yeah.
They barely show up to E3 anymore.
Well, that's what's fascinating, that we sit here and say Nintendo Directs are a good idea, because if you remember when Nintendo originally said, we're not doing E3 anymore, we're just going to do these Directs, we were like, you're crazy, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And now, like these Directs are such a great way. It's a great way to speak directly to your community, say whatever you want, get as nerdy as you want, do whatever you need to do for the community, right? And not have to worry about how you schedule an E3 press conference. It's very much like PlayStation Experience.
Exactly, and I think it's, while Nintendo loses some of that force of being at E3, that the kind of the major market like USA Today or something,
right,
CNN, whatever, they're not going to really be talking about Nintendo if they're not there, but And it precludes Nintendo from growing. I think that, like, you know, in terms of getting their product out to more audiences, they're really preaching to the choir with Nintendo Direct. They're not. No one out there that's like just a PlayStation 4 casual gamer is like, oh, Nintendo Direct's today, and I'm gonna have to watch that. Like, they don't care. So there is that loss, but I really do want to credit them for that because I think it's a really nice idea. Next up, and this is kind of pertinent to us, Greg, because we were having problems with this. You know, at least Tim and I were last week when we were playing on Wii U. I wanted to go to Wii's Virtual Console to download Mega Man X because Mega Man X I don't believe is on Wii U's Virtual Console, or ActRaiser it might have been. And we had to go into Wii mode, and it was a whole thing. You know?
Rigmarole.
It was a whole rigmarole, and it's just a pain in the ass. Nintendo seems to be taking at least strides to sell some digital games, according to the Nintendo Direct today. Digital versions of some popular Wii games that will be available natively on Wii U for them to download, which I think is kind of cool. So you can just kind of skip that step. And more importantly, I think that some of these games, specifically one of them in particular, has been hard to find traditionally for people. So Super Mario Galaxy 2, Metroid Prime Trilogy, which was extraordinarily rare for a while, and I think is no longer rare, really.
Right.
Punch-Out, and select others will be available on Wii U. Which is really exciting. So
it's a good move. It's nice to see Nintendo step it up to that point. I mean, I guess we're talking about booting into Wii mode, right? Like, it's nice that you actually have that option, whereas like PlayStation 4, I can't even play my PS3 games, even through the, you know what I mean, my downloadable stuff. But yeah, it's nice to see that finally get to where it needs to be in terms of what people want. And get these games that, like, maybe you did miss, right? You know, if you're actually somebody who hadn't bought the Wii and you didn't get the great chance to play these, and here's your chance to get around. I mean, Super Mario Galaxy 2, come on. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Metroid, the Metroid Prime Trilogy, I didn't play all of them, but come on.
Oh, those are great games.
Yeah.
Oh man, those are such good games. I understand why people get so frustrated with retro, and now that's their choice, of course.
Yeah.
But they made those games, and they're making Donkey Kong Country. It's kind of like, you know, maybe I want to turn to Metroid at some point. So that's kind of cool, and I'm really excited about that. Galaxy and Galaxy 2 are 10s. These are extraordinary games, some of the best games ever made, and like to be able to play them again is awesome. So I'm really excited about that. I know a lot of people out there will be excited about that as well. More news. Pokemon Shuffle is coming to 3DS soon, next month in February. It's a free-to-play game.
What the hell's that?
This is according to, again, another Jose story.
Jose Otero tearing it up out there.
Pokemon Shuffle's puzzle mechanics appear similar to Pokemon Battle Troze.
Oh, of course.
Of course. A game, Troze? A game which released last March on 3DS. I remember that game, actually. Matching 3 or more Pokemon will clear them from the stage and deal damage to a wild Pokemon. It's free to play. I assume that there will be some sort of gimmick to get you to pay, presumably.
Sure.
Maybe it's just
buy more cards, unpack this, do that.
So that's kind of cool. So you get that next month if you're a 3DS owner. This was also a kind of a weird thing. This story comes from GameSpot. Eddie over at GameSpot wrote this. Tekken director on board for Wii U exclusive. Bandai Namco is really getting in bed with Nintendo, which is really fun to watch and interesting. Sure. Bandai Namco's latest title, codenamed Project Treasure, revealed during Nintendo Direct. Here's the story from Eddie at GameSpot.
What up, Eddie?
It's a brief one. Nintendo has announced a new partnership with Bandai Namco, which is working on a brand new Wii U exclusive, currently codenamed Project Treasure. A teaser trailer showed that the focus will be on disarming traps and collecting treasure while playing with friends. It will be free to download, though further details on the game are light at the moment, and the trailer is somewhat vague. We'll have that trailer for you soon, and I think it's actually embedded at their store if you want to go to GameSpot and check it out. However, Nintendo has confirmed that Tekken director Kazuhiro Harada is working on the project, which is very interesting. That doesn't necessarily mean that the game will be Tekken related, of course not. We'll have more information on Project Treasure as soon as it becomes available. So that information comes from GameSpot. We appreciate that. That's pretty cool. Namco Bandai, or Bandai Namco as they're now known.
Yeah.
Had Pac-Man in Smash. They worked on Smash Brothers. That was internally developed there with Nintendo's help, obviously. So it's interesting that they're finding some success there. And what's really most interesting is that Bandai Namco is finding success with, as a third-party publisher, releasing multi-platform games, like Project Cars, for instance. They're finding success on places like Vita with Tales of Hearts and Sword Art Online. They're finding success on PS3 with Tales of Exillia, Tales of Exillia 2, and Tales of Zestiria comes out this year. So it's funny that they're kind of democratizing and really kind of doing their thing over there. And I've been to their headquarters in Japan twice, and they're doing just fine for themselves. It looks like that building is huge. So they're really kind of they're kind of everywhere. Very cool.
'Cause you're everywhere to me.
Who sang that song?
Michelle Branch. Who sang that song? You fucking kidding me? You crazy motherfucker. Are you done with the Nintendo news?
No, not even close. What do you need?
There's breaking news that's bigger than Nintendo, but I want to get through all the Nintendo before we switch gears.
All right, let's go through it real quick.
Okay.
New amiibos are coming. The new amiibos are Robin and Lucina from Fire Emblem, Pac-Man from Pac-Man, Wario, of course, and then the classic Nintendo character Ness from Earthbound, and Charizard from Pokemon. There'll also be a Super Mario series amiibo, which I believe works with other games. I think Mario Party 10, maybe?
Yeah, that's right.
So a new Mario, a new Luigi, Princess Peach, Bowser, Yoshi.
I've said it for years, we don't have enough Marios and Luigis.
Yoshi's in there, and what I'm really excited about is Toad's in there. I'm gonna buy that just because I've been, you were kind enough to pre-order me the Mega Man amiibo. I'm gonna buy the D2D amiibo too, and then I want to buy the Toad one. I just want to have. I'm not gonna use them as amiibos.
Do you
but
love
I want to
Toad?
have. I love Toad. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He's my guy in Super Mario USA.
Okay. Did you ever play Treasure Tracker?
Not yet, no.
Yeah,
I haven't played a game in like 2 months. Yeah. With the exception of like Call of Duty and some video games. There's no time. We've just been crazy busy.
We're making all these videos.
So I'm really excited. I'll put Toad next to D2D and Mega Man on my shelf.
Okay.
So that's that news.
I like that you planned out your shelf like that. Because I remember when I was, when I'd get ready to buy stuff, and before I got it, like I'd plan where I'm going to put it. I remember my pet monster. I was very big on him, how I wanted to store him in my closet and stuff.
I think the only thing that's most pertinent that we haven't talked about yet, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I don't think, I think this is, I'm just looking at everything. Yeah, I think this is basically it. Xenoblade Chronicles 3D is going to come in April, which people are excited about. Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate will launch next month in February.
Okay.
And we were talking about this on the Gamescast too. Nintendo's doing a so-called cross-buy title.
Oh,
we were talking about if cross-buy was a trademark term from PlayStation with PS3 and Vita originally. Probably not. Although they're really crazy with their trademarks.
Again, I stand by that. There's probably some iteration of cross-buy that's trademarked, but not overall.
But it means, like, they invented that term, I guess, but it means what it means now.
There had to have been something that was cross-buy beforehand, right?
Presumably, yes.
You buy, Apple could have said stuff on iTunes is cross-buy, playing on a device.
But anyway, Nintendo's first cross-buy game, as it were, is going to be Mario vs. Donkey Kong, which will be available on Wii U and 3DS. So that's kind of cool, too. That's all the Nintendo news, Greg.
Okay.
What is the breaking news that is of pertinence right now?
All right, let me tweet it, and then I'm going to have to read a whole giant thing here, all right?
Okay.
Everybody, hang on to your assholes.
Okay.
The rumor is Spider-Man to appear in Avengers Infinity War Part 1. This is an article from IGN. Max Nicholson has it. He's citing off to the Latino Review articles. Actually, rather than just give IGN a cut, I'm going to go to Latino Review, who broke this. Now, if you didn't know Latino Review, every time there's one of these superhero movies, Colin, you know these guys?
I've heard of them just because they break news.
These mother effers are the ones who get it all the time. They get all this news all the time. So now I'm scrolling through this. I can see why IGN boiled it down. This is a crazy ass. There's way too much going on. I'm going back to IGN.
Okay.
All right. So Spider-Man, though, the rumor is he's here. All right. So here comes the article, right? Most of us probably know by now Marvel once talked to Sony about getting their prodigal son Spider-Man to be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The original plan was for the webhead to appear in 2016's Captain America Civil War, but to our knowledge, that plan fell through. However, a new rumor suggests Spider-Man will appear in Marvel's The Avengers Infinity War Part 1 in 2018. Story comes from Latino Review, which is known for getting the drop on superhero movie scoops. But seeing as this is such a major reveal, we're going to couch it as a rumor for now. This is in parentheses. Disney and Sony probably won't comment, at least for some time. Anyway, the article gives tons of spoilery details about Marvel's Phase 3, including the fates of other MCU characters, so read at your own risk. But the bottom line is, Spider-Man is in Avengers 3, the Sony deal went through. No confirmations on that. That's crazy, Colin. This is a huge, crazy deal. I wish he was in Civil War, but I'll take him being in the universe finally.
It's very interesting. So has Latino Review ever been wrong? Is the question that I have.
They have to have been wrong before, but they get a lot of stuff right. You know what I mean? Like that's actually a really good thing. Somebody look up the Wikipedia on Latino Review. Let me know. I'm trolling through here. I'm gonna try to find the news of what they're talking about. All right? Because again, it's all this stuff. It's basically like just a blog post. These guys. You're making it up. Okay, so now do you want me just to read? Should I just read what's gonna happen? What he thinks is happening in the Phase 3 movies.
If you want, I mean, whatever. You know this better than I do. So
I do. I don't mind having possible spoilers. Maybe it's real, maybe it's fake, but it's interesting. I'm going to read through it. Ladies and gentlemen, you can mute your stream if you want and come back in 5 minutes. Let's paint a picture of Marvel's most profitable properties in Phase 3. Spoilers throughout. Really, I'm going to tell you straight up spoil this at the end of the Phase 3 movie. All right. Avengers Age of Ultron introduces a new group of Avengers led by Captain America. Still, think Hulk's going to be in space. Captain America Civil War exposes that Bucky killed Howard Stark. Iron Man and Captain America fight. Tony Stark is discouraged. I'm vague on how he ends up at the moment. Black Panther is introduced. Crossbones kills Steve Rogers at the end of the film, giving us a nice big cliffhanger for Marvel Studios' two most profitable characters, Iron Man and Captain America. Since I'm so vague on what happens to Iron Man, I'm pretty sure he can't be flitting in and out of other Phase 3 movies without reducing the impact of his future return. So let's just say he'll also be in space. In space is going to be my character placehold. It's obvious. Doctor Strange hits, and I really think Marvel's... I don't care about Doctor Strange. Thor... Ragnarok will kill a lot of Asgardians, resurrect some of them, and Thor will end up in some sort of prison. Described to me as a galactic prison, but I don't know what that would mean. Cap's dead, Thor is gone, there are still Avengers. We take a break from Earth's problems for Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but then return for Black Panther. It's interesting that we're going to need a new leader for the Avengers, and the Black Panther is going to be introduced in the movie where the Winter Soldier's dirty laundry will be aired. I'm not saying I know anything about this movie, but I don't care if you don't know anything about the movie. This brings us to May 4th, 2018, Avengers Infinity Wars Part 1. Here's what I understand. Steve Rogers is not in this movie. He is dead. Thor is not in this movie. He is imprisoned. Spider-Man is in the movie the Sony deal went through.
So all that just for that information, basically, is what we...
Well, all that other information was very interesting to me and the other people out there. Yeah, you don't understand, man. Them killing Cap is awesome. That's great. That's a great move. And this is what we were talking about before, too. The fact that we wanted to know how they were going to... You know, these people are getting old, right? The Avengers are getting old. Lots of them don't want to keep being in the same movies. This is going to be on the Game Over Greggy show, I guess, that'll go live on Friday. Is that they didn't know what was happening. Do we want to keep doing this? All these different things. This would be an easy way to do it. You could, and like, rather than do the comic book thing where you resurrect Steve Rogers, you could keep going. You could have the Civil War actually separate everybody, get crazy. Infinity Wars, I'm sure, will bring people back with the Infinity Gems, but you could bring them back in the Ultimate Universes and have them look different and do all these different things. It's an easy way in and out for getting people.
And we should let people know in case they were curious, in case they were scared of the spoilers.
Oh,
come back to us now.
Oh yeah, come back. Unmute your thing. I'm sure everybody's fine. Yeah, Falcon for Cap. Somebody calls out. That's great. Big news. No, and then he covers his face. I don't know if he's true then. Tuned in just in time for spoilers. Ah, man.
I don't know what the hell you just said, but it sounds like it's really exciting to a lot of comic book fans. And
I just like thinking about how they could do stuff like this. And the best part about it is, growing up, when I'd read Wizard magazine and I'd see what was happening with like these proposed comic book movies, you'd read these things and be like, that'll never happen, clearly. You know what I mean? Batman's never going to be a Superman movie, da-da-da-da-da-da. And now we live in a time where that shit actually happens. Marvel might actually kill Steve Rogers and have something different happen and put in Falcon as that.
But who will kill Roy Rogers?
Roy Rogers?
Is he alive still?
I don't think
because
so.
I really love the Fixums bar. You know what I mean? When
I've never been in a Roy Rogers.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, the thing with Roy Rogers is you get your cheeseburger, and then they have the whole kind of salad bar thing.
This is an East Coast thing, right? Because Craig Harris used to talk about this a lot too.
Yeah.
Isn't there like only one on the New Jersey Turnpike now or some weird thing?
That's like where the only place I ever eat them anymore is in Jersey,
Yeah.
They used to be on Long Island. I don't know if they're there anymore. Anyway.
Bring back Toby, somebody yells. Love Garfield as Spider-Man. It's going to be a new Spider-Man. By 2018, they're putting it out. Andrew Garfield will be gone. Tobey Maguire will be ancient. Miles Morales. That's what they should do.
Ghost Gamer 93. I don't know if I think he's exaggerating a little because I've been looking at the viewers, but he said he just lost 2,000 viewers, presumably because of all our spoilers. So
we actually jumped up.
Come back to us.
When I clicked out, we were just at 4,000. Now we're at 5,000.
I'm sending my mental energies to get everyone back.
Okay.
I'm with you. Like, the spoilers doesn't really bother me.
Especially potential spoilers.
Well, I often say that with Lost and Battlestar are really two good examples, and Jericho, of shows I got into a little late. Jericho not so much, I guess, but Battlestar and Lost, where spoilers helped to get me into the game or into the TV shows and stuff like that.
Sure.
So they could be quite.
I mean, and the thing, of course, whenever we're reading or whenever we're talking about comic books, like the storylines they're pulling from usually are pulled from comic books, so you already kind of know the spoilers, right?
Yeah, presumably the hardcore would already know.
Yeah.
This next story is for my dude Nick Scarpino.
Nick Scarpino got news for you.
And it reads like this. Hold on, I'm getting a random ad.
Getting an ad.
I'm over at Deadline, which is an awesome website.
Okay.
The story from Mike Fleming Jr.
Mike Fleming Jr.
Title says Escape from New York remake rights deal won by Fox. This is an exclusive to Deadline. Snake Plissken is back. Fox has emerged from competitive bidding and closed a deal to remake the 1981 John Carpenter-directed cult classic Escape from New York. Andrew Rona and Alex Heinemann's The Picture Company will produce. The original was released by Avgo Embassy, and the rights were owned by Studio Canal. Carpenter will be an executive producer and will exert creative influence over the project. Fox's Mike Ireland brought it in and will steer. The hope is to reinvent the property with an eye towards launching a new franchise. In the original, Kurt Russell played Pliskin. Of course he did. He was awesome. An eye-patch sporting tough guy who was conscripted to rescue the President of the United States after Air Force One en route to a summit that could head off World War III goes missing after it crashes in New York, which has been relegated to a maximum security prison. Of course it was. Pliskin, a former Special Forces operative convicted of trying to rob the Federal Reserve, is given 22 hours to liberate the President and a tape he carries which holds the key to peace. If he fails, he's wired to explode. So that's pretty exciting if you're... I mean, that's a great movie.
I've never seen it. But I know there's so many. Kojima pulled so many things from it to make Metal Gear. You know what I mean? That I feel like I know parts of it.
Absolutely. So for all you film fans out there, that's pretty exciting. I'm sorry, Greg. Go ahead.
Before you jump to your next thing, I have a comment here from the chat. Kaladin Stark says he loves the Kevin Smith Colin today. I just noticed that you're wearing your Islanders jersey, which of course does look like Kevin Smith's
Oh my God, the Islanders
Fat
just
Man jersey.
stomped out the Rangers yesterday. It was awesome. Oh, what a great game! And there's a rematch on the island in 2 weeks. We'll see how it goes. You know that the rivalry's heating up, Greg, when everyone starts fighting after the whistle when the game's already over, and it's not just pushing and shoving, but actually everyone's dropping their gloves and actually punching and fighting each other. It was awesome. Rangers-Islanders rivalry is epic. It hasn't meant much in recent years because the Rangers have been awesome and the Islanders have been bad. Now both teams are very good. The Islanders are better, and
sorry, Rosenbaum.
And I hope to see them in the playoffs because I'd love to go right through them.
It was an interesting call on the Kevin Smith jersey, though, of course. Our Smodcast episode finally went live, where the Kind of Funny guys are on the Smodcast with Kevin Smith. It's the sequel to Kevin being on the Game Over Greggy show, which, of course, you can catch that at youtube.com/kindoffunny. You can get Kevin's podcast, the Smodcast, in a million different ways. I think it's just smodcast.com, iTunes. I've been tweeting about it. Go do it.
Yeah, those were really cool. We were listening to it. Went out to dinner last night, the four of us, and Nick and Tim and some others. And we put out the Smodcast had been released when we were, I guess, dining or around that time, maybe earlier in the day. And Nick just put it on in the car, and it was just really surreal because we were there. I mean, obviously, we were there with Kevin Smith, but it's cool to relive that. And we always have that all kind of audio file to kind of remember everything by. In fact, one of the funny things that I mean, it's just a weird thing that I did was when we were at Kevin Smith's, I asked him to put the raw file, like not cut down or anything like that, mixed down or anything like that, onto a USB, and he did that for us, which I just want to throw in a box somewhere because it's just cool.
Yeah.
So let's move on.
We're moving on.
Let's go back to GameSpot. Eddie over there has another great story.
Is Eddie their only news guy, or is he just the hardest working?
I think he is their news guy.
I mean, he is just running circles around that Danny O'Dwyer.
Danny O'Dwyer's not working hard enough.
Come on, O'Dwyer.
The story reads Battlefield Hardline beta details revealed. The story reads like this. Visceral Games on Wednesday announced more details about the upcoming multiplayer beta for Battlefield Hardline. With a launch date, while a launch date for the beta is being kept under wraps for now, DICE did confirm the following. The Battlefield Hardline beta will be open to everyone across all platforms. PC, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PlayStation 3, and PlayStation 4. Modes include Hotwire and Conquest. No cap on max progression level. Quote, "To be frank, we want you to play this beta to death. We need you to. This test is only going to make the game stronger and help us look at ways we can ensure we deliver the most stable launch you deserve." From Steve Paputzis. Didn't he work on Dead Space?
Yeah. Well, this is them. That's
oh, he's a GM.
Visceral.
Okay, I'm saying. I thought he was. Okay, no, that makes sense.
He hasn't flipped around. He's just working on a different game
now. The upcoming
Same
Hardline
studio.
multiplayer beta is actually the game's second, as DICE offered a beta on PS4 and PC in June, which is obviously during E3. So that's a nice little thing. I think Hardline looks pretty cool. It reminds me a lot of a game we've already played a lot of.
Payday.
Called Payday.
Yeah.
Similar kind of bank robbery sim, as it were. This obviously looks much more dynamic, much prettier.
Yeah, cops and robbers, right, in this one?
Exactly.
You can play either one.
Yeah, you're basically only the robbers in Payday, at least the first one. I never played the second one.
Yeah, the second one, but it has like crazy DLC with Gus from Breaking Bad and all this stuff.
Yeah, that game actually kind of blew up a little bit, I think.
Yeah, we were there first, man. As usual, that's what we do.
This makes a lot of sense because Battlefield, what was it, 4, right?
Yeah.
Was broken.
Yeah, and still is for some people.
And still is for some people, but really botched that game for a lot of people and really disappointed a lot of people. So it makes sense that they're, being very rigorous about testing Hardline. I give them credit for that.
Yeah, I mean, and it's nice to have Steve out in front of that, right? Like they know that they're not behind the 8 ball, right? But public perception of the Battlefield name might not be as high as it once was. So you have to get out there, you have to be vocal, you have to do all these different things. Alan Formation asks, well, what's the Xbox event you're going to? If you look up here, we usually say upcoming, and then we say the stream we're going to do next. Right now it says we go to the Xbox event. Ryan McCaffrey's already tweeting about this from IGN. There's an Xbox event down in San Francisco today. We're going to go see 3 games. Our impressions will be embargoed until Tuesday. So you have to come to Colin and Greg Live. We'll unpack it all for you, but I can tell you we're seeing Ori and the Blind Forest, State of Decay, and then a new game that I already forgot about.
Cool.
Or not even a new game, but a game I'm just not familiar with. But State of Decay, oh, doctor.
Yeah, I've really been very interested in that particular game.
Yeah. Did you miss it on 360?
Yeah, it was just a busy time or whatever. I mean, I think it's just a really nice idea. It's on PC as well, I think, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I have that over there. But now it's on Xbox One, so now I really care.
No, it's cool. It's very cool. GameStop released their financials, particularly the holiday sales results, and I thought this was interesting. And I want to look real quick for something.
Okay.
UK.
I can fill that while you go. Scalebound? No, that's not it. Somebody go to Ryan McCaffrey's tweets. He tweeted about it.
Let me see. Oh, yeah, okay, here it is. All right, so GameStop Endgame, which is the... Why is this not right? There we go. Game is basically like a UK and I guess European... I guess it's really only UK. Kind of a games distributor over there, a game retailer.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a minute. But GameStop reports on GameStop, news.gamestop.com, GameStop reports 2014 holiday sales results. The subheads are next generation software sales grew 94% compared to the 2013 holiday period. Digital receipts increased 43%. Fourth quarter and full year EPS guidance reiterated. The story reads like this. GameStop Corp, a family of specialty retail brands that makes the most popular technologies affordable and simple. I would dispute that. Today reported sales results for the 9-week holiday period ended January 3rd, 2015. Total global sales for the holiday period were $2.94 billion, a 6.7% decline compared to 2013 holiday sales period, or 4.0% if you in constant currency, so with inflation.
Okay.
Due to the current strength of the US dollar, the company's sales were negatively impacted by foreign currency exchange rates as described in this release. Total comparable store sales decreased 3.1%, comprised of negative 3.3% in the U.S. and negative 2.7% internationally. By month, November's comparable store sales declined 12% as the company overlapped last November's PS4 and Xbox One console sales. So there's some positive and some negative. New software sales grew 5.8%. This growth was driven by a 94.4% increase in PS4 and Xbox One software, which makes sense because there's just so many more games.
Yeah.
Basically, it's just kind of I hate using this term, but a mixed bag for GameStop right now. They kind of use some flashy leads here where it's like things are good, but actually some of their information is...
There's a root problem there.
The root problem is that people are going digital.
Yeah.
And they're also using Amazon, and I really have no idea why. You know, I understand people like to go into their game stores, buy things, have things on the shelf. That makes sense to me. Even if you want Amazon, you still want to buy the game and have it on your shelf. But it's just, I was reflecting on this during Christmas when I was doing my holiday shopping for my girlfriend and my parents and my family or whatever. It's just so, why would I ever go to a mall ever again?
Oh, God,
you know what I mean? I was just on Amazon for an hour and I bought everything and then I just shipped it to everyone.
Yeah,
It was like,
you gift wrap it, you left me a message, it's done, it's out the door, you're fine.
Yeah, it doesn't really make any sense.
Third game of the Xbox event we're seeing is Scream Ride. I'm not familiar with that title.
I don't know what that is.
So we will be then, and we can tell you on Tuesday. It'll be unpacked here on Colin and Greg Live. Also want to give a shout out to Killer Joe 321. He says, hey, Greg and Colin, I've been in the hospital with leukemia for the past 3 months, and I've loved watching your videos on IGN, and now your channel makes me feel really great watching the stream here. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Killer Joe. Get well soon.
Yeah, get well, please.
Stay strong.
So
I had more news for you.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting to break new news from you. I'm very excited. You ready for this
that's
one?
fantastic.
Look away from my screen. Reflect over there. Look at the painting of me. Monopoly movie described as Goonies-esque family adventure will shoot this summer. Now you can look back, okay? I'll read you some of it here.
Oh my God.
So far, the only board game movies to come out of Hollywood's post-Transformers mania for Hasbro properties have been Battleship and last year's Ouija. There's a Ouija movie last year?
I
Weird.
guess.
But the one we've got more to do with Japanese Monopoly. Producer Randall Emmett reveals Monopoly will shoot this summer and blah, 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 blah. Whereas Battleship was a big budget thing and Ouija was a low budget horror thriller nobody heard about. I added that last part. Monopoly will be going in a completely different direction. Describes it as Goonies, family adventure. More on the menu.
All right, well, I'm going to tell you right now, I hope the movie's great, but comparing yourself to Goonies is bold.
We've worked on the script for about 9 months. We have a script that we're going to make this summer, he said. He added that filming would likely take place in Georgia and Louisiana with exterior shots on the Atlantic City boardwalk, of course, what the game's based on. The cast is young kids, but there is one lead, older, a guy chasing kids, let's say. Goonies is a perfect analogy to what Monopoly will hopefully be. There is a treasure map. It's a family adventure film. We really spent a lot of time on the script really trying to create family fun for everybody.
What the hell? I'm a huge fan of Monopoly. Everyone knows that. You are too.
It's the property trading game all based around one kid.
So that's a little weird. So they're making a movie out of Monopoly. That's fine. They made movies about Clue and everything in the '80s. But it's what I'm most curious about again is the comparison to Goonies. That's a really bold comparison. You better hope it's anywhere. If it's anywhere near as good as Goonies, you're in good shape. But we'll have to wait and see about that.
Ark Wolf says in the chat here, controversial opinion: Goonies is bad.
That is a controversial opinion.
That's an unfounded opinion. Like, don't get me wrong, you can not like Goonies. No, it's not my kind of movie. You can't say it's bad. What's bad about Goonies? It's funny. Know. It's got penis jokes in it.
And then there's Goonies
One-eyed
2.
Willie.
And then there's Goonies 2. Now
that was just a game.
Yeah, I loved Goonies 2 was a Konami game on NES and Famicom, and for years I played it. It's a fine game. It's an interesting game. It's a weird game. But for years I was like, "Where's Goonies 2? I never saw this movie. Like they made a sequel to Goonies.
Yeah.
And then I think it wasn't until college when they were like, Goonies 2 is just the name of the game. There is no Goonies 2. I was like, oh, that's dumb. The other kind of comparable story to the GameStop story that we had before, which I thought was just interesting because I know we have a lot of European listeners.
Oi!
We really appreciate you guys tuning in. We know it's a little more kind of dinner time for you guys. You're kind of unwinding after a day of school work. We appreciate you guys tuning in.
I sure did have a hard day of work, Governor. Pass me the kidney bean pie, won't you?
Are you done?
Oh, Tiny Tim's falling on harder times.
You went into some other accent there.
I know. I don't. When I try to experiment with it, it doesn't go well.
BBC has this story. It says Game Digital blames sales fall on tough competition. Game Digital, the video games retailer, has blamed a, quote, highly competitive Christmas trading period, end quote, for a drop in sales over the festive period. The reason, by the way, I know about this story is because someone tweeted at me about it, and it's really kind of interesting. The firm previously known as Game Group said group sales fell 6.7% in the 11 weeks leading to January 10th. That's huge
really
numbers.
Bad news.
It said, quote, increased promotional activity across the market, end quote, had driven up hardware sales such as Xbox One and PlayStation 4 consoles, but at the lower average selling prices and margin. It expects a flat full-year earnings for the full financial year ending 1st August, because we're reading a British story. It said underlying earnings would be broadly in line, in quotes, with 2014's total of £51.3 million. So we'll see how that goes. I know, again, same thing with our British viewers out there that like to go into the store, whatever. It just seems like people are kind of becoming privy to the digital market and to the online retailers, and it's killing these companies. I'm sorry, go on.
John of Legend chimes in on our Goonies debate, because everybody flipped out when this kid said Goonies is bad. He says Goonies was good. It doesn't hold up.
Oh, I disagree.
What are you talking about? Goonies is a fantastic film to this day. You show any kid Goonies, they're going to be like, that was fun. I had a good time. Show any adult Goonies, they're going to be like, I get that. Remember the Corey Feldman in the front when he's speaking Spanish to the lady? Funny. That's funny. Data? Funny. Treasure? Who doesn't want Treasure? Get out.
I love Treasure.
Yeah, that's what you love.
I live for it.
Yeah.
Just a few more stories. I read this. This is actually just really one more story of pertinence, and then we'll jump into the comments. This comes via Drudge. Apparently, there's some problems, and this is a science technology story. Apparently, some problems on the International Space Station.
Oh no!
People are in danger. This is an AP story. Cape Canaveral. In a rare scare, astronauts fled the American side of the International Space Station on Wednesday after an alarm indicated a possible toxic leak. NASA later said a computer problem likely set off the alarm, rather than escaping ammonia coolant.
Lord almighty.
Quote unquote, no signs of a leak, NASA reported via Twitter. In the meantime, the 6 crew members huddled safely on the Russian side of the orbiting outpost. As Mission Control analyzed the data, as it turns out, the astronauts had to rush over to the Russian segment twice. The first time when the alarm sounded, the second following an initial all clear.
I'm sure they are just like so calm now.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Nothing like an all clear, and then oh no, we lied. Get a toxic leak.
Quote: hey everybody, thanks for your concern. We're all safe and doing well in the Russian segment. Tweeted Italian astronaut Samantha Cristoforetti.
I love it. She's tweeting from space.
So it's really
that's
cool.
where they're breaking the news about the toxic leaks.
Space is probably much less boring now that they can have the internet up there. Although it still takes some time for them to load everything.
Sure.
The unscheduled excitement, as NASA called it, occurred around 4 a.m. Eastern Time, well into the station crew's workday. As alarms blared, the astronauts followed emergency procedures and slapping on oxygen masks, taking cover in the Russian quarters, then sealing the hatches between the U.S. and Russian sides. At the same time, flight controllers at NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston turned off non-essential equipment. Within minutes, Mission Control gave an all clear, but sent the astronauts scurrying back over to the Russian side again when there were more evidence of a possible leak.
Jesus.
The highly toxic liquid ammonia flowing outside the space station is used to cool electronics. Flight controllers originally feared it had gotten into the water system running inside.
Jesus.
Now it's believed that a failed card in a computer relay box was the culprit. The crew, 3 Russians, 2 Americans, and Italian Cristoforetti, will remain in their relatively small Russian compartments in the meantime. Space Station program manager Mike Suffredini Safradini said, while it's inconvenient for all 6 to be isolated on the Russian side, there's no health or other concerns. Controllers hope to give the final all clear by Wednesday night.
God. This is the thing that like we take for granted nowadays, I think, right? And granted, I know the Columbia disaster and the history and the timeline wasn't so far long ago, and even the Virgin America or the Virgin Galactic test crash a while ago. It's space travel now. When you think about it in the general mainstream sense, seems so mundane, right? This is an everyday. Oh yeah, there's people floating around us in zero gravity doing work up on this space station. You don't think about it. You don't think about how much danger they in. You don't think about how terrifying that would be to be up there and then like it literally, if something goes wrong and it leaked everywhere, they're all dead. You know what I mean? If something goes wrong on one side, they're and they don't get out in time, they're all dead. There's no way to get help up there fast enough. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
oh no, there's no way to get help up there at all. I mean, you can't just launch a space like first of all, we don't have the shuttle anymore, so we can't like even do that.
There's nothing to scramble to get up there. You know what I mean?
No. I mean, that was what's interesting to me about this is that
sorry, Luke, it's not zero gravity. Jeez.
Is that it's very reminiscent of what the Apollo mission controllers would talk about in the 70s, which was Apollo 11 was the first to land on the moon. Obviously, the Apollos leading up to that would get further and further, orbit the moon, kind of go to the dark side, and that kind of stuff. And then by Apollo 16, Apollo 17, people were tired of it.
Yeah.
Like which is so weird because it would be thrilled to watch them go to the moon again and like walk on the moon. And Apollo missions that were planned were canceled because people just didn't care anymore.
Right.
And, like it's sad because they're doing really important science up there. It's a very incremental and very glacial process. It shouldn't be this slow. I don't think. I think we should, be well on our way to Mars by now, or be at Mars already. I think that people in the 60s and 70s assumed we would have been on Mars.
Well, that's what they were talking about. Colonies, talking about this, talking about that. When you talk about just going back to the moon, nobody gets excited about that. We already have the photos. Go to Mars, do this, walk there. I mean, I get. First off, it's super hard to do this. You know what I mean? All of these questions, right? You're talking about Packing for Mars, a book you've recommended. I actually bought, but I haven't started yet. There's all these different little pieces to it that make it so slow, and that's what happens when you start talking about like. There was that huge jump of we are walking on the moon, and then when there wasn't another giant leap, people start losing interest.
Yeah, and what sucks is that lost interest, I think, stopped them from going to the moon or the Mars in maybe the 80s or the 90s.
Yeah,
I mean, because remember we went to the moon with the processing power of like a calculator. Yeah. So like imagine what we can do now. But yeah,
we're doing it right now. We're streaming out a half blurry stream. That's
exactly.
The power
that's the power of the internet. But yeah, I mean, imagine what we can do. But again, Packing for Mars, which is a book by Mary Roach, which everyone should read, is about all the little things you have to think about. Going like getting there is not a problem. Getting back's a huge problem, and all of just how do you like? Can you have sex in space? Like if you're gone for years?
Yeah.
Like that's one of the questions they ask. Like, can you be pregnant in space? Can like all these like weird things like happen, and it's like. So I agree.
Getting pregnant in space isn't one of my big questions of getting out there.
Well, it's a huge question if you're
colonization.
Yeah. Well, and for just like if you're a female astronaut and you go with like husband and wife teams, which have things have been proposed where you're gonna be gone for a long time. You might want to have people that are with each other, like married or whatever, cause massive medical problems, and you're done. Like there's like like that, and like it's like Jesus Christ. So there's all these weird. That's a really fantastic book because there's just all of these questions about the way that and the human body. Like we've had people in space for a year, 2 years before, but going to Mars, staying there for a while. That's why we talk about how and even Buzz Aldrin talks about like the trip to Mars might have to be a suicide mission.
Yeah.
Because that would just make it that much easier. Like someone should just be like, I'm not coming back.
What's the deal? What's the deal with Mars travel? We talked about this on the Game Over Greggy show in the past year of the people who are signing up for that, right? There's a suicide mission to Mars, isn't there?
Yeah, it's there's a group doing, I think out of the Netherlands, that's trying to do like a reality show about going to Mars and how it's a suicide mission.
Yeah.
And it's not a suicide mission where you're going to Mars and you're slamming and you're dying. It's just you're not coming back.
Yeah,
they're gonna
land and that's it.
And they're gonna try to like give you I think there's gonna be 12 or 15 launches of things like to kind of keep you alive or whatever. Anyway. That's an interesting story. Our very best goes out to our brave astronauts up there from all the countries that are in the ISS right now.
Crow dice slow. Jizz in space.
So that's all the news for now, Greg. Let's jump into the comments and chat with our people out there.
Ladies and gentlemen, remember this is Colin and Greg live each and every day at 11 a.m. We pop up here on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames and talk you through the news, then talk to you. Make sure you comment. If you're a subscriber, you get private chat time at the end, wherever you can still watch. But you get this. Colin.
Yes.
As you know, every day on this show, we add a new piece to the prize giveaway pack. Each and every day, we add this thing up. Friday, we pull from whoever's in the chat along with whoever is a sub. You're all entered together. We pull a name out. Somebody gets the prize pack. We're going to add something to it. All right, you ready?
Yep. What's up?
So we've already have the Origin t-shirt. We got a lot of these. They're going to be given, that's a staple. They don't count. That's always just a bonus. Of course, we're streaming on our Origin Millennium. We use our Origin computers. We got the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man here. There he goes. Yesterday, the one and only Troy Baker showed up on our stream. He gave us his Sitting in the Fire album. You can get it on troybaker.net. This is a limited edition pressing, but inside he signed it. So you got that. You got an autographed Troy Baker CD in there. And then today we're adding the Tetris sticker set.
Oh.
Now this is from, you might recognize it from the Loot Crate unboxing Tim and I did. We're going through, we keep the stuff we want, then we give you the stuff that we don't care about. We're giving you the stickers. It's 147 Tetris pieces there that you go ahead and make it.
Do the stickers work if you have 2,000 friends on PSN?
I guess Tetris doesn't work. I gotta do that for the
So the prize pack's getting real good, Greg.
prize pack's getting real good. Real good. Sorry, thank you.
Let's jump into the comments and chat
it.
with our people. Let's see. Pretty good viewer numbers today, says RW Gamer Mike. Yes,
Yeah.
we appreciate it. Over
Thank you all
6,300
much.
people are with us right now. We appreciate it. We hope you're enjoying the show. Give us your feedback.
Thank you, Twitch. You put us on the front page again. You're amazing. Thanks for supporting this goofy-ass live show. For everybody watching, we know for some reason this side of the camera is blurry. We're trying to work through it. Nick wants to use the fancy camera. We thought we had this solved, but clearly we don't. So that's why the thing is still days without technical issue 0.
Jade's Ja says, Colin, will you do a classic NES Castlevania gameplay? Of course I will. In fact, for Teaching Tuesday on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, we're doing Mega Man 2 right now. I think that Castlevania might be the next one. I'm really interested in seeing you guys play that game. Because as I said before, I don't think Mega Man 2 or any of the Mega Man games are really hard. Like, you can figure them out. The original Mega Man's a pretty difficult game, but
Yeah.
they're not the hardest games. There's 2 series I really want to see you guys play. One is Ninja Gaiden, which is really hard, and one is Castlevania, which I also think is really hard.
Okay.
Like hard.
Okay.
Especially Castlevania 3. I'd really love to see you guys play Castlevania 3, because that game pisses me off. And I've been playing that game forever.
This game straight pisses me off. I'm Colin Moriarty.
Let's see.
I go in here if you want it.
Yeah, please.
Hajar LDR says, who would you like to see play Spider-Man in the new Marvel movies? Of course, we're talking about this rumor. Who should be Spider-Man in the new Marvel movies?
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill. That's
Yeah.
an interesting choice.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to knock it. What if you said that and Jonah Hill went and got in fucking tip-top shape?
I'm not even saying because he's lost a ton of weight. I'm saying just because he's like a goofy actor.
Yeah.
But we were giving him a lot of props on the Game Over Greggy show, which goes
We love
on
him.
Friday for our Patreon supporters. About his performance in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, great movie, great guy. The one that a lot of people in the chat were shouting about that I really think is a cool idea right now, in theory, probably not by the time this movie comes out in 2018, Donald Glover. You familiar with Donald Glover? Community, Childish Bambino.
Yeah.
He would be if they went and did Miles Morales Spider-Man, that would be awesome if he did it. But the problem, of course, is that then we have to make a whole bunch of leaps from the comic, and the fact that Miles Morales in the comic is like a kid, he's like a teen, you know what I mean? Like most Spider-Man is when he starts, most of the Spider-Man stories. But if you aged him up or whatever and did it, but then again, he's gonna be old by 2018. He's gonna be too old to be Spider-Man. You gotta be young, you gotta be spry. And that's the problem. I don't know these young actors. Of course, I'm drawn to Zac Efron again, because I don't know if you know this, Colin. Zac Efron is an amazing human being and actor. Maybe just actor. I don't know if he's a good guy. But this kid, everything I see him in, I love him in. I watched That Awkward Moment the other day. He's dynamite in that movie. Now, here's the thing about Zac Efron. I've said this before on this stream, or not this stream, on our Kinda Funny channel, youtube.com/kindafunny, is that he would be the perfect Mark Grayson for the Invincible movie. Here's what we need to do as a community, as the Kinda Funny community. We need to figure out a way to befriend Zac Efron and make him understand that you and I host these cool YouTube shows and do these cool things, we're cool dudes and da-da-da-da-da. Then we get friendly with him, he comes on the show, we have a great time, we take him out to drinks. Somewhere in then, I'm gonna just break a little, icebreaker here, start feeling it out, of what if we just did a YouTube video where we did live action, we just do a trailer for live action Invincible. And you play it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And like, not you. I'm talking.
I understand.
And then I show him some things. Because if I could just get Zac Efron into the Invincible suit for a photo shoot with real, not just me in a dark room. Real Sean Finnegan's there taking photos. It's official. And then we did like a 1.5-minute sizzle teaser trailer where he's putting on the thing and he's me. Oh.
You'd enjoy that?
Oh God.
Oh, you'd enjoy that.
I would enjoy that quite a bit. It would be the perfect way to pay back Robert Kirkman for all the work he's done.
Oh, he would look at that as payback. I'm sure he'd love that.
He would love it a lot. He offered to change our diapers on the 24-hour live stream we have to do for this channel. Kirkman, not Zac Efron. Everybody get on Zac Efron.
Just really quick, Chrisman281S, is that a John Tavares jersey? Of course it is. John Tavares is the best player in the NHL, of course, as you might know. He's the Islanders captain. I got this during his rookie season. We don't even wear these sweaters anymore, actually. But as you can see here, we have the little patch to represent the 4 Stanley Cups we won. Because we won 4 Stanley Cups in a row.
You call it a sweater? That's
Yes.
like a hockey thing?
Yeah.
Golden Tacos joined late. He's like, speaking of Spider-Man. No, motherfucker, that's the whole reason we're talking about Spider-Man. Spider-Man's in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We get it now. Maybe, kind of. Rumor, Latino review.
Ender56 asks, are we going to be streaming any games this afternoon? No. If you came in late, we're going to see some Xbox games today, an Xbox event, which we will then tell you about next Tuesday here on Colin and Greg Live. We'll have videos. We'll have some impressions of that.
We're bringing Lewis with us, the fan who paid to be one of the Patreon supporters who flew out here from Texas. He's coming to see games. We'll get his opinions. Maybe I'll stream something later tonight.
Some people want us to talk. Galgan1 and many others want us to talk about the House of Cards trailer for season 3. I have not watched it yet. Should we watch it with everyone on the stream, maybe?
Sure. I don't think that would get us in trouble, right? We watched some of the Avengers Age of Ultron trailer yesterday. We didn't get arrested.
Someone said no, Crosby is the best. Lol. We're coming for you, Penguins, on Friday. We're coming
Quack,
for
quack.
you. Quack, 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 Mr. Ducksworth. Quack, 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 quack.
Oh, well.
Did you just...
I did, yeah. I'm just making sure I find the right one. I have one from IGN one day ago. That's probably it, right? It's 6 minutes long, does that say?
Oh, no, we're not watching.
We're not watching 6 minutes.
I don't even...
Oh, wait, maybe it's 46 seconds. I can't tell. Now I got an ad. And I got the awesome... Oh, it's a CW ad, though. Oh, it's a Return of Flash. It's the Flash. Oh, I should just probably put this up because I'm talking about this, too. This is, like, right in our wheelhouse. Oh, it might be making noise. It's probably... Or did I mute it? I muted it. I'm smart. Everybody calm down. Web browser. Here we go.
Oh.
There you go. Look at that. It's the Flash. He's coming back, yo. Check it out now. Usually I'd get mad if I was sitting through the ad.
JRod0823 says, kind of funny games, FBI bust through the wall.
What? On the ground! You guys illegally streaming things?
All right, now hold on. Wait,
You need sound?
I'd like it if we could have it. I mean,
everybody hold on to your butts on the stream. We can't talk. Don't talk.
When the stakes are this high.
We're murderers, Francis.
We're survivors.
Yes. I hope this is the last season.
That looks fantastic. Sorry if I blew out everybody's ears because I had to go off the thing. Nobody said they did, though. I want to know who's she locking lips with here in the presidential ballroom or whatever. Who's that dude? Looks like James Woods.
Is it not him? Is it just a weird angle? I can't. I mean, we're so far away from the computer.
I'm blowing it up for just calling it.
That's not even remotely him. No, I wonder.
And that's a lip lock and a half right there. Look at that. He's like,
Oh, okay.
You motherfucker! Don't go to the train tracks.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. House of Cards is so good. Like I was telling you, like the one thing I have to do with House of Cards when it returns is I have to be very careful to not watch them all at once. I'm gonna have a two-a-day regimen. I'm gonna have a two-a-day regimen.
I think we should. I want to sit down there with Nick Scarpino and blow right through him. Look at this guy. The gerbil dude's back too. All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I can't wait. I love House of Cards.
Oh, it's so good.
Such a great show.
It's such a great proving. I mean, obviously Lilyhammer was Netflix's first show, which people really love, but
yeah.
This was really the proving ground, I think, with the Emmy nominations and all that kind of stuff, and the wins. That
and Kevin Spacey, even.
I mean, yeah, of course, netting a fine AAA actor like Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
Really proving ground that this is the future of entertainment.
Yeah.
Let's go back in for a couple more questions, and then we'll do sub-only chat, and then we have to go because we have to go downtown.
Downtown! Best part of Short Circuit 2.
Let's see. A lot of people are just talking about how much they can't wait for the show. Marty McFly.
Oh, Doc.
Surrounded by X's. Do you think, 2014 was a bad year for gaming or good?
I think it was a fine year. It was a standard year. You know what I mean? Like I don't think we have as many stories to be like, look at this. This was such an achievement, and this was amazing. Da 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 da. You know, game of the year. I wasn't fired up really for any. I was like, South Park's my game of the year, right? But even saying that, I'm saying South Park's the funniest game, the game I had the most fun with it, and you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like, remember like when Gone Home came, and Journey came out, and Walking Dead, and like you're having all these, your Uncharted's or whatever. Like, and I'm spanning years here. I'm aware. Last of Us, games you like. This is such a moment for me. This is such a game for me. When we get to the end and like, Dragon Age won for IGN. Congratulations, not my kind of game. You know what I mean? Like South Park,
Shovel Knight.
I totally
Shovel
love.
Knight's the real winner.
Yeah, Shovel Knight was.
Shovel Knight's the real MVP.
Yeah, and the fact that we're still talking about Shovel Knight shows you how bad last year was. Just doing it to get him mad. Shovel Knight's great, but that's what I'm saying. I felt like it was a good year, but it wasn't a great year. It wasn't an amazing year. It was the year where the consoles were finally out and things were happening on them, and you got to see like, all right, this is where they're going. This is what's happening next. You have PlayStation Experience was cool and E3 was cool, but overall, in terms of gameplay-wise, I'm like, give me Arkham Knight. Let's go.
The final question will come from Sebastian
Bach.
Sebastian the AK? The Ick? I don't know. Some of these names are hard. You don't know if they're like compound words or whatever.
If you want, here's my one piece of advice for this, from one host to another. Just say whatever the hell you want, because Sebastian's the only one who's going to know you screwed up his name.
Yeah, I
Nobody
know,
else
but
is
I try
gonna
to be respectful of people's
I
names.
respect it too. You all have hard names. You pick bad names.
He asked, and we've answered this question before, so we do apologize for some people that have been with us for a while and know the answer to this, but we do want to reiterate for our newer viewers. He asks, will you guys be reviewing games on your channel anytime? The answer is we'll be talking about games as they come out. I think some of the bigger games, the tentpole games, and as well as the games that we just care about, whether they're big or small.
Right.
The thing is that we're not going to be doing traditional review products. We don't believe in review scores at Kind of Funny. We're not going to be doing them. I think they're reductive. I think that it's much more instructive to either read a review and read the text, or what we're going to do, which is have conversations about and really unpack the games.
Unpack them.
I think review scores are silly, and I don't want to have them on Kind of Funny. So we're not going to be doing a traditional review kind of thing here. And I hope you guys are down with what we're going to do. Of course, we haven't been able to really do that yet because it's early January. Nothing's really come out yet. I assume Evolve will be the first major game we talk about in that respect. The Order will be right behind it, so stay tuned for that.
Are you going to play Evolve with me to be able to talk about it?
Yeah, I think I probably have to play Evolve because
Okay.
I think that the thing with Evolve is there's such a vacancy right now in the catalog of new games or whatever, and I want to be part of the zeitgeist. You know what I mean?
That's a big part of it, right? Is jumping
Well,
up there
especially
doing
because it's not even about. It's not even about me really wanting to play that game. I'm willing to be surprised by it, and hopefully I like it. It's just about like I think I owe it to everyone out there to be to be informed about it.
Can I float you one question before we go? Because that would you apologize that question. I don't want that to be our last question before we switch to sub-only chat. Which of course you don't have to be a sub to watch, just to chat in. The Stump02 said, opinion needed. Wife is buying me one of these two: a Wii U or a 3DS XL. Which should it be?
Wii U.
Yeah.
I think so.
Why?
I think the Wii U has better, more interesting games, fewer games. I think the 3DS is fine. I think the original DS is way better in terms of catalog. And I mean, the original DS is awesome.
Sure, I agree with that.
With the
I think
exception of
everybody
Vita,
does.
it's like my favorite handheld.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would go with the Wii U. I think that you're gonna want to play the new Zelda game. You want to play the new Star Fox or some little
Smash,
things on there.
you don't have
obviously.
Smash. You don't have Kart. You don't have Toad Treasure Tracker.
Well, they have Smash on 3DS, but not.
Yeah, but it's not real Smash.
So
Like, no offense to the 3DS Smash.
My personal opinion, you go in that direction.
How many friends do you have is always my thing. I only use my Wii U for local co-op or local play. I don't play online, right? And it works out here and it's great and yada yada yada. But like you go play kart with people, you just get your teeth kicked in because they're amazing at everything. If you're gonna be a solo player, maybe the DS is the way to go. I feel like my Wii U is a multiplayer machine. The 3DS has games to get lost in, Link Between Worlds and such. Go play these games.
Let's jump. We're running out of time, so let's jump into sub-only chat.
Sub-only chat is starting
let's
right now.
slow down the chat as well, so we can really kind of get some of these questions.
Sadly, I'm pretty sure I want you to know it's slowed down.
Wow, really? Well, we appreciate that.
Everybody loves us and we love you.
The volume, then. I'm
Every
sorry.
day.
I consider myself a very quick reader, actually, but it moves so quickly.
This is my one thing with it is you've seen what I've done is I've blown it up. I think that helps out.
Excuse me.
If you get it, because you always do the thing where you got to lean in and do the squint. Just pull back and do it right there. You're all right.
So, we'll do this for 10, 15 minutes, and then we have to skedaddle.
Get to that Xbox event, which we'll tell you about next Tuesday. Maybe stream something later tonight.
Oternlax asks Colin, and we'll put this to you too, Greg.
Yeah.
What are your Super Bowl picks? Who wins it all now? My original Super Bowl pick for the game was Denver, Dallas, which is not possible anymore.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I thought
yeah.
Denver was going to win. So,
I said it to you over the weekend. I think Patriots. I think they got a chance, man. I think this is their year.
I'm sure
again.
they definitely have a chance.
Well, yeah, I mean, literally they have a chance. 'cause
I
they're
hope
still
the
in.
Colts just destroy them on Sunday.
Yeah.
I think the realistic bet is Patriots-Seahawks, and I think the Seahawks repeat and win again. We haven't had a repeat since the 90s, I don't think. Since the Broncos, right? 97, 98,
Yeah,
something like that?
Elway's final stuff.
Yeah, right before Elway retired with the last one. Greg, Slim Cognito 64 asks, Greg, will you ever grow a beard?
Probably not. I think the time. I think here's the thing. Of course, famously on IGN on a Game Scoop, I made fun of Ryan Geddes for having a beard, a really bad beard. I said he looked like a POW who just got released in this photo on his desk, and he said it was 2 weeks of growth, and so I tried to do it, and I looked even worse. Ever since then, my beard my face hair grows in thicker, but it still seems like it takes forever. I'll let it go some weekends, and so then there'd be like what 2 weeks of Colin and Greg live and streams and all this other stuff where I just look garbagey. And I like being a baby face. Keeps me young. Everybody says I look really young.
People were reminding me in the chat, by the way, the Patriots won 2003, 2004, so that was the last time that there was a repeat. I had to pretend the Patriots don't even exist. Here's a gaming question for us. Local Lizard Man asks, are you excited for the Resident Evil remake or Revelations 2 at all? I'm excited as hell about the remake. Revelations is fine. Now that it's on Vita, I think I'll probably play it. It's episodic, so it's a little weird to me. But yeah, I'm looking forward to remake, and I'm sure we're gonna stream it right here on Twitch.
I'm gonna watch you stream the remake and go from there. I've never clicked with Resident Evil, and I've blamed tank controls before. I've blamed the way the story is told before. Like, it just doesn't work for me for some reason. I always want to like it. I always want to get into it, but it just doesn't happen for me.
Big Magic 11 asks,
Big Magic 11.
Will you be playing the Evolve beta, which begins tomorrow, and live stream it?
Will you?
I'm not going to play the beta. No.
I played some on PC this weekend. I didn't get a lot of time to commit to it, and then right now this week's going to be just as crazy, I believe, in terms of what we're heading into. And I might be going to New York on Sunday, which would mean I'm going to just be taking my consoles with me probably and screwing around.
Calatreculus asks, Colin, are you guys going to be live tweeting at the Xbox event? Can you do a reaction video directly after? Is it private? We are embargoed until Tuesday, so we will have everything there, but no live tweeting of the event. Or we will never be at another event again.
Yeah, everybody's like, oh, they're still inviting you guys to events? We're like, yeah, and then we immediately go to our first one and like just live stream everything.
Let's see. Todd Wise asked, do you believe enough in the Order 1886 enough to justify a pre-order? Here's where I stand with pre-ordering. Don't.
Yeah, you're always been against pre-orders.
It should. Well, I mean,
regardless of game.
It's fine if. I just don't understand. Like, I used to. When my money was like a little, when I didn't have money when I was in college or high school, and my money
when
was
you
kind
quit
of
your job
when I quit my job and now I have no money.
bedroom.
I used to go and pre-order and pay for games before they came out, just so I can like get them off my mind, so I knew that I can go into the store and be like, oh, the game's paid for and stuff like that. I understand people they get excited, they want to pre-order and stuff like that. I just don't understand it. There's no scarcity, especially in the digital space for these games. My whole take now is to wait and see. I mean, unless you're really eager to play a game day one, and I understand that I'm eager to play the Order day one, I'm going to play it day one.
Yeah.
But if unless you have the money burning a hole in your pocket, just wait and see what everyone thinks about it. I really don't understand pre-ordering at all.
Okay.
That's my personal opinion on that. Let's see. Craytray1310 asks, best advice for starting up a podcast. We have the equipment and theme. Just general advice.
Go.
Consistency is always my major thing.
Consistency, being there every week when you say you're going to be there, is a big part of it. But like, it's best not. I feel like you look at Beyond, right? Like, Beyond evolved into all those different segments of the Roper Report and the horrible PSN name and over time, right? And like that stuff became stuff that got invented on the show. You know what I mean? Like, that's always a good thing. Now, granted, just sitting down and talking is not going to maybe work. Have an outline of things you want to hit on, break it up that way. But don't try to force segments in and be like, all right, now it's time for the shoe-in of the week.
Yep.
Our shoe-in pick of games.
Big Richie 7 asks, what do you think Marty is doing in Japan? Any ideas? I know exactly what he is in Japan. But surely he's eating ramen, and we wish him the very best over there.
Eating ramen,
doing what he's doing.
Karaoke in. Growing a beard. Drinking a lot.
Let's see. This is a good one. Mike Honcho 420 asks, Greg, how's Portillo doing?
Portillo's good. People were asking about him earlier in the stream. I think the computer was blocking him. He's right here. He's chilling out. No word yet. Remember he had the growth on the side of his head over here that we had to go get a biopsy on. It's gotten smaller since it got pierced. So I think that is good for it being a cyst and not being anything gross or anything. But we're waiting on word from that. Other than that, he's tired all the time. He's cold. He's an old man dog. We got a bath last night, and then he was the cutest little thing, just running around being crazy.
PB and Jamerson asks, hey Greg, when can we expect to pay for the Game of the Month tier? I want to play Super Metroid and discuss it so badly. Now here's the thing for everyone that didn't tune in on patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. We're going to have a new tier at a certain amount of money. I'm not sure. Did we decide on it yet? Let's fill everyone in.
So the idea is that every month on Kind of Funny Games, as both a Twitch channel and a YouTube channel, we're going to pick a game for Game of the Month that we'll all play. Then on our patreon.com/kindoffunnygames, there will be a $15 tier for 3 slots. You pay for that slot, Then we get you a copy of the game. Then you play through it. We all talk about it. We live stream basically the 4 of us talking. Me, the 3 slot people. Then we have the Twitch chat going there. Then we break that all out as a video on demand and put it on YouTube. The holdup right now is, and what I'm trying to figure out what to do, is that I'm trying to get the easiest way to get Super Metroid to you. You understand what I'm saying? Like, get not a code for the game, but code for money.
You can on Wii anyway. You could buy it as a friend and send it to anyone. Right?
Yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah.
Then that's what we'll do.
So it actually, ironically, is probably gonna be easiest on Wii.
That's fine. It's one of those where, again, like, people are asking where the Troy emoticon is, where's the Lewis emoticon. These are all things that when we finish this stream, we always run to something else, and then we will work until we fall asleep. So that needs to happen, and I was trying to figure out the Wii thing. But if it's that easy, then I'll add that tier today. You don't need to support us at the $15 tier. It'll be open to everybody, the chat part, but the 3 people on the tier will get to come in and actually talk to us.
Right. Yeah, it'll be fun. And Super Metroid's a great. Super Metroid is awesome. And what an important game.
Here's my next question for you, though, Colin, as a Super Metroid expert. Is 15 days enough to get through it and do everything you want to do with it? And
you can beat Metroid. Yeah, I mean, you could beat Super Metroid in an hour.
Okay, so just for a normal person,
if you're
playing it for the first
nuts.
time and doing everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a weekend game, I would say.
Okay.
To explore it organically and not use a guide, I mean, you'll be fine.
So we start playing it, and then we'll do the thing at the end of the month, and then we'll get it going for
I think there are people that speedrun the hell out of Super Metroid and like beat it in like no time.
Yamigara says, I got Super Metroid on my Wii U for like 30 cents last year. Well, good for you. The rest of us got to pay.
It's worth way more than that.
Jericho, can you guys invite Christopher Walken over?
He's invited anytime he wants to come over.
The Game Over Greggy show that goes live on Friday for supporters and on Bandcamp and on Vimeo and then on YouTube the next week has Troy Baker and has an amazing Christopher Walken impression.
Let's see. Let's do 2 more questions.
2 more questions on the sub-only chat.
Flying 7 Monkey says, is anyone going to teach you guys Dota 2 for a Teaching Tuesday? Now, here's the interesting thing. I was talking to Mitch Dyer at IGN, our old colleague, a friend of ours, and we talked about that. Now, I'm not sure what the permissions will be to get the IGN guys on our content. They're welcome anytime, of course. But I specifically was talking about that game because that game will be funny as hell for us to learn. I tuned into a stream of his once, like some time ago, like a year plus ago, and I was like, what the hell is this? You know, like what is, like, this is just not for me. I don't think it is for me. I'm certain it's not for me, but that's a possibility. We just have to see. Let's see. One more.
Remember, we're Colin Greg Live every day, 11 a.m. right here. We usually stream in the afternoon. We try to, at least. Not today. We're going to an Xbox event. You sub, you get cool emoticons. You get this sub-only chat. Then you also get entered into the weekly prize pack. Of course, if you're here on Friday, it's also random for anybody in the chat room.
Coheed Rock. I'm assuming this
Coheed and Cambria.
I'm assuming it's a reference to Coheed and Cambria. Says, what do you guys think of joystick stopping review scores? I saw this story a day or 2 ago. I think it's great. I think review scores are unnecessary, and the more people that stop using them, the better.
I don't go as far as say they're unnecessary. I do like the window of the content when I don't have time to read to be able to scroll and just see what somebody thought. But I do agree that the words and the opinion are what matter and not the number. And so many times people in the comments of our reviews when we were reviewing for IGN would get hung up on it, right? And then it would just be like, well, you know, they're not even listening to what I'm saying. I'm saying this game is good. I'm attaching the word good to the score. But they're hung up on the fact that I'm saying 7.2. That's what my opinion, my 2,000 words, 1,500 words have been boiled down.
Yeah, so review scores are a headache. Read the content. Watch the videos. All right, Greg, that's it. Colin and Greg Live is here every weekday, 11 a.m. Pacific time, talking about all things comedy, or not all things
comedy.
No, it's probably more comedic than you would think or want it to be. Games, rather, entertainment. I was thinking about entertainment. I was like, oh, comedy, games and entertainment. So movies, comics, TV, etc., and so on. You can find us on Twitter at KindaFunnyVids. I'm at No Taxation. Greg is Game Over Greggy. You can find our content on YouTube, youtube.com/kindafunny and kindafunnygames. So if you want everything that's not games, Kinda Funny is good for you. If you want all the games content, obviously Kinda Funny Games is there. Shout out and thank you to all of our Patreon subscribers at patreon.com/kindafunny and patreon.com/kindafunnygames. You guys are really, really blowing us away, and we really appreciate it. Of course, if you don't want to subscribe to us on Patreon, you don't have to. We're here for you anyway. So we'll see you tomorrow. We'll have some more news and information for you then. Until then, Greg, give me some Geraldo and let's get out of here.
I hope to stream H1Z1 to all hell tomorrow, too. Good day.
You have to understand that I'm Geraldo. I'm not anyone to trifle with.